shoulder thing? Do you need like a pillow or something?
You're so kind.
We have pillows.
I don't know if I want to touch pillows in here.
We're recording live from the Love Shack. It's your host, Sweet T.
Hey, everybody. This is Saif. We're out here at the studio in Phoenix. Thank you for coming along for the ride.
So this evening, I want to discuss like why people seem to have lost agency over themselves. That's my biggest concern.
Agency, that's a big word.
Yeah, well, depending on if you feed it to the algorithm the wrong way, they might give you all sorts of different content. With today's news, a new agency is being shut down every day. Shut up!
It feels like we're being programmed.
Yeah. So, to anybody that is new to the channel, I am Sweet T. This is Saif. This is the Catch the Sky podcast. You can find us online by searching for the Catch the Sky podcast. We're on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube.
We're on the internet, is what I like to tell people. We're on the internet. If you want to find us, we're not going to come into your feed. They won't. I don't know.
We're not popular enough.
Yeah. I don't know if we're going to get access to your feed. We'd have to do
I'm not
something.
paying for that. So
no. We're trying to have discussions. We're trying to have civil discussions around serious topics, but we're lighthearted.
Our unofficial catchphrase is "Inspire to reach higher." Did you know that?
Inspire to retire.
No, inspire to reach higher.
Inspire to reach higher.
Yeah, like catch the sky.
You're taking it back.
Yeah.
You know, this actually might be the people's first time ever hearing about us.
So this is a great introduction for us to them.
You got to know that this is Pennsylvania and this is Arizona. And
we're both in Arizona now.
But we're in Arizona now, and we're just two mysterious creatures who wander the earth and somehow connect. And we'll be like, you know what? I want to have a conversation with that guy. And I'm looking forward to this conversation as always.
Yeah, I was going to say we've had more than one conversation since then.
We have I was kind of hoping we would do a Love Files episode tonight. I wanted to talk a little gossip, French cheese and all that.
Oh, Jesus, don't even start. So,
got him.
This episode, like I said, I wanted to talk about people, basically being conditioned through a number of different factors. The most popular being social media, big media, all that stuff. But I also think it extends to going to church or a synagogue or what have you every week and worshiping and getting a certain message fed to you that way, right? Because there's certain people that I know that make decisions just based on that.
That was before the internet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Newspapers and stuff used to do that. The Bee Gees wrote a whole song about it. It was pretty popular, right?
Newsletters? What was the Bee Gees song? Wait, how many? No. I'm not going down this. How many Bee Gees songs do you know?
I know two. but one of them is the one in question. So There is that.
How deep is your love?
No. Staying alive.
Go on.
What's the exact line?
I knew it.
It's
wait,
something about New York Times effect on man.
Ooh. Well, let's just start from the top.
Yeah.
Well, you can't tell by the way I use my walk.
If you can't try to understand the New York Times effect on man, then that's all you need to know. That's all you need to know is as it pertains to this conversation.
I look like Mindy Kaling just there.
But yeah, that. So they're influencing you to think a certain way, and they've been doing this for quite some time.
Since written language. So as soon as we could write,
we've been fooling fools.
Yes. Before we just had to do it oral. We had to do it orally.
You like doing it orally?
I love receiving. Wait, hold on. We got to stop this. Got to stay focused. We
got a script here.
An outline that'll keep us organized.
Right.
It's important to stay organized.
Right.
So what were we talking about? Staying alive?
No. People being influenced. And in the modern age, it takes shape in social media, most popularly in social media. Mm-hmm. So I feel like people are being conditioned to only handle like 30 to 60 seconds of content at a time. And so therefore their attention spans are just conditioned to be so short, and they can't handle complex ideas or big ideas or the reality of the world. And therefore they're comfortable being fed whatever the algorithm is giving them on a daily basis and not really thinking too much about it, because thinking too much is what leads to stress and anxiety and all that stuff.
Well, they're trying to survive, aren't they? If they don't. How many people are you think?
Staying alive.
Work this way. We'll work it back all day. People are
I
out
know
there.
what the title of this episode is going to be.
People are out there hustling, T.
Yeah.
They don't.
But are they thinking about their hustle?
They're just.
Or are they self-sabotaging along the way?
The world told everybody to go get a cell phone. They didn't even want a cell phone. People are surviving before, but now it's become that you can't apply for a job. You can't pay people. In some instances, they refuse to take any type of currency. It's all electronic currency.
Do you have a job, sir?
Yeah. Why was John Turturro? That's why. Don't get me down this rabbit hole either. But I think we're simple. We're simple people. That to me is the wholesome explanation. So it's 2025. It's March of 2025. It's April of 2025.
April 3rd.
April
for the
3rd.
record books. For the records.
It's my mom's birthday.
It's your mom. Did you contact her?
Of course.
Okay. Happy birthday.
Hey, Mom.
Okay. But like you said, we're simple people. So that goes into the conversation. We're easily influenced. People are easily influenced, and conditioning them to have these short attention spans makes them even more easily influenced than ever before. At least when we had newspapers and stuff, people were reading. You know, they were reading,
but they weren't doing any better. They were just getting.
But they were still reading. Now we're just staring at screens.
It's the new book, because I can be a book, right?
But not everybody's using it to read stuff. A lot of them are just using it to.
But that's why we can't get rid of it.
Watch porn,
because it's become yes.
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
The internet is for porn.
Yes.
The internet for porn. Hold on, I got to remember the name of that musical before I move forward.
There's a musical?
Yeah, it had puppets in it. It's like a Jim Henson's, but adult. It ran on Broadway for a little while. It had this thing called the Trekkie Monster. And he had the song that the internet's for porn.
Well, yeah, it is.
Either
so
You didn't come here for theater talk.
No. Yeah, no. You came here for smut. So
no, it's so simple of a tool. It's a flashlight. It's my remote control. It's my navigation system. It's all these wonderful things, and that's why I can't give it up. But embedded within it are these cookies, and these cookies have to be modified or adjusted. Otherwise, and I think no matter what we do, they're still going to find a way through.
You love cookies.
Oh.
And you love trying to modify cookies.
Cookie Monster.
Jesus
I love
Christ.
the Cookie Monster. And shout out to the Cookie Monsters of the world.
Oh, my God. So what this
cookie?
Jesus Christ. I mean, I like cookies too, but
Did Dave Chappelle's bit on the Sesame Street characters?
No. There's a lot of Chappelle I missed, but I do like Chappelle.
What's up, Dave?
Yeah, I'm sure
Big
he's
fan
watching.
of your work. You know, if ever.
But conditioning people this way and creating a mob of easily influenced people, now you can breed like Ugh. Just like non-skeptical followers that will just blindly go along with whatever.
And we're along for the ride in all this.
They'll buy this product. They'll vote for this person. They'll eat at this restaurant. Whatever.
You gonna stop shopping?
I guess that falls under the buy this product one.
Like, what do we do about this? We know we're being bombarded. So how do we disconnect from the matrix?
I don't know. I didn't plant any. I got to plant more vegetables. All I planted was weed. We got one sprout out of 12 so far.
So this is your effort at gardening?
Yes.
So you're trying to, so the idea of becoming self-sustaining, doing things for yourself, basically becoming a farmer and just living off the land as best you can in this.
But I can't eat weed.
Barrage of media.
What I learned is cantaloupe.
Barrage of noise.
Cantaloupe grows real well out here. Throw yourself some cantaloupe seeds in the ground and they will take over your backyard. You'll have melons for days.
I don't think my yard's ready for that.
Yeah.
Where?
Yes. Just throw them in the ground somewhere.
Did it happen here?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They took over.
Wow.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Huh.
Good stuff.
Just doing cilantro right now and chard, some broccoli, mint, jalapenos, and moringa. My plan is moringa to shade, and then it'll allow me to grow crops that.
How long you been working on this shade project in the backyard?
I'm on year 2.
Year 2?
Mm-hmm. I got a watering system.
Does that doesn't?
moringas.
All right, hang on. So year 2. Hang on. Let's reverse the time. What about that tree that got cut down? That wasn't part of the shade project. What about all those orange trees that died?
There's 3 oleanders. This guy took out 3 oleanders. For people who don't understand,
I took more than that. Well, 3 maybe when I lived with you, but then when I was here on vacation that one time, I think I ripped out 1 or 2 more.
How many have you eliminated here?
None. I don't think we have any.
It's fully okay. No, 4. If you don't know what an oleander is,
it's a bush.
I may wow.
It's a bush.
People who know oleanders know. This guy took out 4 of them.
It's a hardy bush.
I remember we killed a bush one time. I could feel this bush screaming, just like pleading, like don't.
You killed a tree as well, several.
I wrote on Facebook that night.
I hope you.
I felt a tree
endeavor.
die. That is something real that I felt. Like people say, trees can talk to you, and I believe that. I'm one of those people.
And you're just out here killing them. So I hope your latest endeavor goes better than the rest.
Nothing's died yet.
Watered.
I have a watering system.
Lots of water. Well, make sure it's turned on.
There's that one spot in the middle. Nothing will grow there. I had a castor oil. A lot of citrus trees have perished in that spot. The poinsettia that you guys got me for Christmas, that one.
You didn't water it.
It's a desert. Give me a cactus.
But
so, moringa.
But the term that I heard that really kind of inspired this was algorithmic complacency, where people are just fine with going with whatever the GPS gives them. They're fine shopping, going to whatever restaurant they saw on Instagram or whatever. They're fine just going along with being a consumer.
That's all we're really meant to do. I feel like my only purpose in this life, T, is to buy shit. That's it.
That's what they want.
That's my whole existence. That's what I've come to realize.
What they want
is it frustrates me a little bit because you're consuming in the name of ideology. So you're shopping at specific stores because they support specific things. And so it's becoming it's competitive, of course, because they're all trying to vie for your attention.
Well, Aldi got rid of all their DEI stuff. I'm still shopping there.
Yeah, I still shop at Costco. That's why I was surprised to see.
But Costco stood up for their DEI stuff.
I know. That's why I was surprised to see he's still a member.
Aldi got rid of it, and I'm still going.
Aldi just doesn't have the stuff I want, but I feel like
whatever.
You can score. Yeah. No, you can sustain in an Aldi.
Yeah, it's a grocery store. So with this algorithmic complacency, you got just people that exhibit no curiosity.
Do they have time? I don't know if they have time to be curious.
They don't have any human connection, and they think in binary. It's this or that, black and white, Pepsi or Coke, left or right.
They're trying to find identity, purpose. People
Well,
don't.
are they, or are they just consuming?
Well, how did you find purpose? Ultimately, what was your intrinsic moment?
I almost died.
This guy was at a hotel and he fixes the toilet seats. It's a hotel. He doesn't have any stock in the hotel, but it speaks to his mind, right? He's the type of guy that would do that to help the world be better. Is that
well, yeah, and also if one of us sits on the toilet a little rough and it's loose,
mm-hmm.
and then it busts off, then we're liable for a whole toilet crisis in the hotel. We can't have that. I'm being proactive as opposed to being reactive.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like most people are just reactive.
Yes, it's not my problem. I don't want to deal with it.
Just going with the flow. I don't give a fuck until life
doesn't concern me.
Face.
I got a daughter to worry about. I got bills to pay.
Yeah.
I got planes to catch.
Yeah. And
Cat's in the cradle.
So I wonder if people are actually thinking about, is it worth catching all the planes? Is it worth doing this and that? Is it worth, or are they?
I like catching planes.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're doing it the right way, right? But like Ferris Bueller, well, if you're spending too much time away from your family.
What family?
Well, it depends. Maybe some people, like you said, they have a daughter. They've got kids. They've got.
Yeah, that's why they can't go. I have one buddy. He hasn't been able to. Yeah. I miss you, man. You know who you are.
So it's like Ferris Bueller said, right? If you don't stop and smell the...
Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and turn around once in a while, you could miss it.
Yeah. Or if you don't stop and look around once in a while.
Life comes at you pretty fast.
Yeah. So are people...
He was half naked in that shot.
Are people thinking and taking the time to look around and have that introspective and retrospective on maybe choices they've made recently and the, I don't know, what's the corresponding word for future looking? I'm sure there's something that ends in spective. Future-spective. But having that foresight to look forward and see if the actions they're taking today are leading them down a path that's going to attain their goals. Or are they just on a path saving for that next Disney cruise? Or a night at Applebee's?
That's their stress relief, right? This is what...
Yeah, Applebee's is great. It's great stress relief.
I mean, it used to be. I wouldn't personally. I mean,
for some people, it might be.
I could get there. You go to a good Applebee's. there was one on. I used to 59th and Olive.
Was it like Hooters?
I remember I was on a date once with this girl I met on the AOL chats. Right, you know, you used to your pickup. Yeah,
at an Applebee's.
We met in an. Well, I picked her up. I had to pick her up in her neighborhood.
Oh, okay, all right.
And we go to Applebee's. I have a fake ID, so they accept it, and I don't know what. I think I was able to get drinks for us both.
Okay.
But we had a drink and agreed it was cool. But I remember taking her back home and getting lucky.
That's it?
Well, I've skipped out a number of details.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah,
because I'm a gentleman. Obviously, I'm not a kiss and tell kind of guy, so I'm not.
I thought you were trying to make a love files here. What the fuck is this? The fuck is this? What I walk into here? This is the Catch the Sky podcast.
No, I thought about it. I can't. I can't. Okay.
I've talked about busted loads in the rocks, but the woman at Applebee's. Okay, no, that's good. I love it.
Her name was
I love
Elizabeth.
it.
Say her name.
Wow.
She has a name.
Oh my God.
All
Wow.
right.
Her name
She
was
had a
Robert
heart.
Paulson. Shit.
She went as the Drama Mama. That was her AOL handle.
Wow.
Drama Mama. So I met the Drama Mama.
Was it like spelled actually just drama mama,
Yes.
or was it just were there like the at symbols involved? Or?
Maybe, but
Okay.
she was definitely that was her handle.
Was that her personality?
Yes.
All right. All right. Cool.
She used to work at one of these lingerie pornography stores. It's called Fascinations.
Yes.
Yeah.
I see him around.
So she worked at the one off of like
You don't need to
19th
tell us
Avenue,
why
19th
you
Avenue?
don't need to dox her.
This is years ago. Actually, it probably is still there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Porn has tested time. That's what the internet is for, by the way, T. And that's what this is all about. Just quick access to pornography and smut. And
Yeah. Is this place next to
Illicit-
Bookman's or whatever?
illicit activity. I can gamble on this thing. I can trade stocks on this thing. I can meet women on
Who's
swiping.
trading stocks? They're all
Good
gone. God.
And I can bring people into my geo proximity that I guess I want, right? Or I can deal with. But that's part of the experience. And you and I come from a generation where we're used to looking at people in the eye, shaking their hand, and going about
Kicking them in the dick.
building relationships.
Or kicking them
Now
in the
everything's transactional.
dick. Occasionally you would shake a guy's hand and then kick him in the dick. Just give him a swift one. Because he had it coming.
Have you ever kicked someone in the dick?
Peace was never an option. Peace was never an option.
I've aimed. I never got direct. You know, I think it was just going for it. You just swipe and they defend real quick. You know, it's one of those.
Oh no, yeah, it's happened.
Yeah.
I went to an all guys school. Yeah, dicks were tapped, dicks were kicked. So, what my fear is that this
Did anyone ever touch you?
my dick was kicked.
Did anyone ever touch your dick?
No.
Because it was like a Catholic thing, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, it was an all boys Catholic school. Yeah,
Okay. I was just making sure.
Yeah. Nobody touched my dick there.
There's no ongoing investigation.
No. But
Could win an Oscar.
so what my concern is
That was Philip Seymour Hoffman.
that people are being conditioned to basically be stupid consumers.
Yes.
That's it.
So the
That's the
advantage.
simple message. Dumb, uneducated consumers that just buy shit.
How do we do? Because again, everybody's just trying to get the best deal, right? This is why I don't understand why you don't buy in bulk, right? Shouldn't we all just be buying in bulk?
Well, this is an irrelevant conversation.
I mean, it's relevant in my frame of thinking.
I mean, I guess if you're trying to save time and there are things like I buy peas in bulk.
Okay.
And I sometimes get scolded for that, but
Do you really?
well,
Oh my.
only once.
It
But
does look like space is limited.
I did win concert tickets
Fantastic.
because of that. So
As a result of this incident?
yes.
Okay.
So there was a subject on the radio that was,
There it is.
what do you have too much of in your house?
Uh-huh.
So I called in and I said canned peas. And I won tickets to a concert.
That's a great answer.
Yeah. Oh, it is. It
It's
is.
true.
That's why I won.
That's true.
So that's
So consumers, because if I'm consuming, so what is it? Is there something you think people are consuming that you're like, oh, you idiots, you morons, you're getting suckered over there?
a lot of the stuff that they're seeing on social media and in regular media, right?
I think buying up is one of them. We're always trying to keep up with people. We're just out to buy new shit all
Well,
the
not
time.
just talking products, but also politics. You know, there's people I know.
We're in the middle of a revolution, by the way. For people in the future, this is a This is a unique time in the history of the world. Unique economic, historical. I guess the question.
But there's people that, for example, voted for this current situation on the sole point of abortion, like them being pro-life, right?
There's a segment of people who did that. Yeah, not all, but a segment. I know people in my life, and I love them.
Did Biden fix abortion?
But I don't agree with him. I think he nominated Supreme Court justices.
Did Trump fix abortion?
Yes, in their eyes, yeah.
Did Bush fix abortion?
He was part of it because he helped get John Roberts and Samuel Alito. Actually, has been
abortion's still an issue as of this recording.
John Roberts is really the only thing potentially saving this country from turmoil.
Let's just agree that abortion is still an issue as of this recording, correct?
Oh, and it always will be.
That's the point.
Yeah.
So Biden didn't fix it. Trump didn't fix it. Bush, Clinton, Bush again, Reagan, our boy Jimmy.
But in their heart filled with faith, they believe that this is the biggest injustice.
This is the time it's going to get fixed.
And
this is the time it's going to get fixed.
They pray every single day that man fulfills his promise, his
and none of these other
his calling,
possible injustices might actually have more weight in the real world because they're more than just a talking point. Let's be real. Abortion's a talking point because that's all they do with it is talk about it. Mm-hmm. They don't actually, there's never going to be a resolution. Like you said, they're never going to solve it. And therefore,
that's all they want though. T, you've met them, right? There's no going back. Like that's it. And bombs are dropped and people start yelling and shouting and it gets really angry and emotional really quick.
Oh, I'm aware.
Oh, excuse me.
But it's like, what are we doing? There's other things that are fucking people over real quick in real life.
But you're not an ardent, faith-believing Christian. There's variations of, like.
But I know that nothing has abortion been the headlines lately.
They're always working in the scene, so there are whole groups and organizations.
Well, I'm telling you that whatever algorithm I'm getting is not telling me anything about abortion right now.
Well, they're using the algorithm. They know that we're not in there.
They're not using it strong enough. All I'm reading about is Elon Musk and Cybertrucks and terrorism and the stock market and a bunch of bullshit.
Well, all of this is happening. All these things can be true at the same time.
Well, are we getting any quotes from Elon or the president on abortion recently?
What's the deal with abortion? What are we hung up on this?
Well, that's what I'm saying is why are we hung up on this? Why would a voter
people want it?
Why would a voter be hung up
illegal?
On this?
Because people want.
But that's not going to happen.
Keep it legal.
But that's not going to happen. So why not weigh some other issues?
But you say that like it's definitive. I used to think the same thing about Roe v. Wade. I thought it would never get overturned. So to see it overturned, I was astonished, shocked, horrified.
You can make it illegal. You think it's still going to happen?
But I had to look at the legal component to all of this, right? So they're turning it around. I'm just trying to understand the legal arguments because these things are important.
But the point is it's Pandora's box. It doesn't matter. So it's still going to happen.
But the way they're going about it's very tactical, T. They're strategists and they're using the consumer they're using these manipulation propaganda influential techniques through social media
and Sunday mass
to convince everybody's out to get you, right? Like you're going to be barraged by 100 different messages. And you're going to have to figure out
100 different priest cocks.
What is truth? And it's like, how do we determine truth? And people, first of all, ardently believe in their faith. Okay. I would aptly categorize us as not as religious. I respect faiths and I know I honor some of the customs, I'll participate respectfully because I'm informed about these things, right? It's not an unknown thing, but I'm not a person who, I don't believe in God. I don't think I believe in God. I'm not sure. And so you and I are maybe in this camp, and these people are fervently on the opposite spectrum almost, but it's almost to the point where they want to bring you into their camp too.
But is this
Some of them.
the land of the free, or is this the land of their camp?
Actually, I'm trying to honestly evaluate if I've actually had these types of interactions. Only online. In person, never. So when it gets to online, the part I don't like is that it feels like everything is amplified. It just feels like the conversation is angry all the time. And that's the part of the algorithm that I don't care for. That they're amping up the craziest shit. They want you to see just bait. Just gate bait. No.
What kind of bait are you seeing? Are you a jail
Oh,
bait?
my goodness. It's a variation of clickbait, but it's I couldn't think of it. I still can't think of it, and it's killing me. And I it's short-term memory loss also is very frustrating. You're trying to remember something.
Well, you've been conditioned to only have the attention span of 30 to 60 seconds by social media. So, yeah, you can't remember what you were thinking about a minute ago. You stupid little monkey.
Especially when I'm stoned.
Yeah, they got us.
Especially.
They got us. But the point of our show...
there is no point to the show. The point is dialogue.
but like the point that I think we've always tried to make, and with all of our episodes, I mean, there's always... Hopefully you're taking something away. Even in the Love Files episodes, maybe there's some relationship struggle or whatever.
Is this where we do the counseling part?
No, that you might.
This is the hopeful message at the end.
Yeah, exactly. Basically, hopefully each episode gives you some sort of positive message, or at least something to think about. You might not agree with everything that we say, obviously, but something to think about. And this episode especially, I want hopefully people to walk away and think about their lives, like live intentionally. Like think about the things that you value, think about the things that are important to you, and like think about your goals and think about the next actions that you take, and are they in line with those previous things I mentioned? Are they in line with your goals? Are they in line with your values? Are you thinking intentionally, or are you just going along with whatever the algorithm gives you?
Which is also shaping how you view the world and potentially influencing your values, your morals, your beliefs. All of these things are at play. And I guess we're kind of coming from a place where we think that we're actually above this, that we think that where in reality we're also just tapped into a different algorithm where we're the hoity-toity algorithm suckers.
No, it's called porn. Hoity-toity is just one of our favorite sites.
That I didn't know. I can tell you about Elizabeth from Fascinations, though.
Is there anything? Is there anything else you want to contribute more to this conversation, though, in particular?
Actually, because this is the first time recording, we're hitting on a subject right away, and in actuality, I just kind of want to catch up with T, and so I think that's where the best conversations happen, and I think that's the format or formula where it could or should go down, but with the outline in the background.
Well, what if we had like some duct tape? We could like unplug the computer and like duct tape the box to the computer. Okay. And then we could like go venture into my little mini studio and show you all the little behind the scenes music things I've been working on.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So, well, yeah, the guitars. I posted a picture of I've been very impulsive lately in buying guitars.
This is his shtick.
No,
I love it.
No, but no, we lost followers. As soon as I posted the guitars, we lost like 6 followers. Yeah, it was so fucking hilarious. I don't give a shit, though.
I don't want the followers. And this is the part maybe because we're always trying to like, what are we doing this for? And realistically, we should just be doing this for us.
Yeah. No, I want to have these conversations because I'm hoping that I'm not the only person in the world that thinks like this. Because people often tell me that I'm an overthinker, and I look at them and I'm like, maybe you're an underthinker. You know, like, is there a limitation to our brain and how far we should push it? I mean, let's not overthink things like putting on our pants, right? Like, we're not gonna really reinvent that
unless you're reinventing the
right.
Problems are always meant to be improved, and
right.
Yeah.
But there's some things that are just pretty easy the way
urgency.
they are.
Yeah, we've come to take them as, like your car brakes working.
We're just like you're putting your pants on. You kind of just put one leg in at a time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not many people are going to try and improve the process and like jump in 2 legs at a time. That's dangerous. It's been tried, but people probably end up hurt more often than not.
That's what happens to me normally. Yeah.
So that would be like an example of maybe overthinking, but I'm not thinking like that. I'm thinking
it's designing a pair of pants that can be put on. That's the future, T. That's the invention of the future.
Well, I'm thinking like sometimes people would think or classify it as overthinking. Like, say I'll be like in traffic or something and I see just like all these people lined up in the right lane, but they are not turning right. But the other 2 lanes are like wide open, and when the green light happens, they're just self-sabotaging themselves because they know people in front of them are turning right. Mm-hmm. So why are you slowing yourself down? Are you trying to go somewhere, or are you just trying to fuck around in traffic?
You think a Waymo would be better?
Time is precious. Oh, they're going to improve things massively. I think that, and if we just got rid of all intersections and made them big circles, traffic circles. Because if you think about how big an intersection is, it wouldn't take much to just turn them all into traffic circles.
Blanking again, short-term memory.
Roundabout.
Texas roundabout.
What's that?
That's what I believe they're called.
They're just roundabouts.
No, but I thought the origins that I grew up understanding. That's what we're told here in Arizona. So I don't. That's a Google away, but we're not going to do it.
No. I think we've taken up enough time.
I don't think we've taken up enough.
We could go on for hours about this, or try to, like we did in our previous recording, our previous attempt at this subject, but that'll remain in the archives, just like the Vegas episode.
Is the Vegas episode coming back?
It's in the archives.
Does the archives exist?
The archives exist.
What about the cloud?
No.
Okay.
I have a hard drive. But now I have to get a separate hard drive for my Mac, which that's a whole nother thing.
That is a whole nother thing.
They don't care about that. So.
No, they care because they're trying to increase the bandwidth for us to store all of this
information.
I'm saying
these people don't care.
Oh. Well, if they've listened this far, they can stick around for a few more things.
What are you up to? Any travel plans recently?
I got this baseball trip planned.
Where?
Sacramento.
Who plays in Sacramento?
The Oakland A's. Formerly the Philadelphia A's.
Wait, hang on. So they're not playing in Oakland, but they're playing in Sacramento. So I thought they were just bouncing to Vegas, so they didn't even extend their lease in Oakland for another year.
No.
They are so fucking petty. That is so petty. That is some of the fucking most A's shit I've ever heard. That's hilarious.
And I don't blame them, and it's no longer a tenable situation, so why are you even going to dedicate any more financial resources from the city, which needs to be going to the citizens, not to some major league franchise that profits on your backs and doesn't share the wealth enough.
Okay, so you're going to Sacramento.
Hell yeah. But I'm going to make it a road trip. So I'm thinking San Diego.
When's this?
Around my birthday.
Okay, wow. You're going to San Diego and then you're going to drive all the way up to fucking Sacramento?
Then I'm going to go to Kings Canyon. And I'm going to camp 2 nights and go see General Sherman and some trees over there.
So you're not going to go up the coast?
No.
Why not?
I have no interest.
Pussy. You take the dogs to the ocean, throw the tennis ball around
dogs
on the
are
beach.
Not coming along on this trip.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pussy.
Yeah. Thank God I found a house and dog sitter, and they're saints. They're absolutely saints, and I trust them unequivocally. And
Lovely.
if anything were to happen, they would get the dogs.
Well, there's that.
Although Dick is entitled to one of the dogs.
Dick's entitled to one of the dogs. Gotcha.
Yeah. If she wants them.
All right. Well, we miss Dick dearly.
So then I'm going to, I don't want the PCH, but then Kings Canyon, then Sacramento. And then maybe shoot around the Northwest area. Everything's about 2 hours away. Depends on what I want to do.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But it's Sacramento, and they're playing baseball in Sacramento, and that's a unique thing. I'm going to go see the state capitol where Ronald Reagan advocated for gun control because the Black Panther Party protested.
Gun control, another talking point. We're just talking about it.
Yeah.
Not going to get resolved. So why are we making that the only point?
Making that the one of the reason?
Yep.
Because the algorithm, they attach these emotional.
The whole point is open your goddamn mind to more than one idea at a time. People, again, are through this algorithmic complacency. They have this binary way of thinking, and they can only handle like one subject, and it's just like, one with this or that, or I can only handle one. Think about one thing at a time. Big thoughts scare me, and it's like, no, like. Big thoughts should scare you a little bit because, they're big thoughts. A lot of people have contemplated them for the existence of mankind. Are we alone? Is there a God? All these things.
I think you're talking about people with anxiety around this stuff, no?
Well, but people, I feel like people have more anxiety, again, because they've been conditioned to have these short attention spans. So when thinking about bigger things, they get anxious and they, for sure. But that's just part of being human. You got to think about this stuff. I definitely had my meltdown, for sure. For those that are unaware, I'm a suicide survivor, but that's not the point of this episode. So, but that was my come to Jesus moment when I was like, all right, I need to think more about, the world and not just how bad it is.
So what is it that you're thinking about that you think is, I guess,
I just want people to be able to just live how they want to live. Everybody just leave each other alone. What you do in your home should be your business. But now Amazon's recording everything you do. It requires an app to use your fucking refrigerator. It's fucking ridiculous.
It's a convenience factor, though. Those are all conveniences.
Yeah, but they get your data, they invade your privacy, and you willfully give it away because you send it and sign some fucking end user license agreement, and that's it.
But they're providing a 24-hour service potentially. That's groundbreaking.
But do you need that? No.
The supply chain I do need. The purpose for consumption, maybe that. But
they just want you they just want you directly on the T 24/7.
They're arguing profit. They want to be able to make profit.
Off of you.
Yes. And greed is good and profit is good. And
so can we just can people think a little more intentionally, not be such suckers, but also just leave each other alone?
No, we make our lives sucking off of each other.
Yeah, precisely. Yeah, and it sucks.
Uh-huh.
So I'd prefer that we not do that so much.
How do we stop that?
Stay in our lane a little bit. Just mind your own goddamn business.
And try to be courteous. Leave it better than when you found it.
Yeah.
Be nice. Flush. Just
be
flush.
Nice to people.
What is wrong with you? Flush the toilet. Let it go down. And courtesy flush too. We don't want to smell all that stink.
I don't like when you go into a public restroom and there's a bunch of piss on the seat. Oh. It's you did that. You should wipe that off if you did that.
They don't want to touch anything. They're afraid of germs.
And then they probably didn't wash their hands.
What's the worst thing you can get off a toilet seat? Fentanyl?
Chlamydia? I don't know.
If you have an open wound.
But yeah, so I think that's a good place to wrap, right? Chlamydia?
Yeah, we could wrap. We'd take a break. Yeah. We'll come right back. Next episode's in your feed. Thank you for listening to the Catch the Sky podcast. This is Saif.
I'm Sweet T. You can find us online again, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Search for the Catch This Guy podcast.
Are you still on X?
Yeah, at CTS Terry.
Okay.
All I do is cuss out Elon occasionally.
So he hasn't blocked you?
It's very vulgar. No, not to my knowledge.
You're not in his algorithm.
No. I'm not. No, not on his radar. But we are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts.
That's how I listen to it. It's on Spotify.
I think we're on Amazon Audio. Is there Audible? Pandora.
Pandora was a thing.
We're still on Pandora.
Fucking A. I'm going to try that tonight.
Yeah, let's go. Live episodes. So, yeah, we'll try to continue producing new content for you. Thank you for tuning in. And until next time, keep trying to catch this guy.